I still have the voicemail saved. I raised you. I fed you. I kept a roof over your head. Now it's your turn to take care of me. My mother's voice, steady, entitled, like she was calling in a debt. But 15 years earlier, same voice, different message. You shouldn't expect anything from me. Life doesn't owe you, and neither do I. I was 16. I'd asked for help with an SAT prep course. She said no. So here's my question. How does the parent who taught you to need nothing suddenly need everything? How does don't expect anything turn into you owe me $3,000 a month? I'll tell you how. Because I had the receipts. All of them. Before we go further, drop your time zone in the comments. I want to know who's still awake with me on this one. And hit that subscribe button, because you're going to want to see how this ends. Let me take you back to where it all started. My childhood wasn't abusive. It was just cold. Mom believed in self-reliance the way some people believe in religion. You have to learn to stand on your own 2 feet. I heard that line so many times it became background noise. When I turned 16, I asked for help with that SAT course. $200. She looked at me over her coffee and said, I can't always be your safety net. I worked 2 jobs through high school, saved every paycheck, got into state school, no help, took out loans, community college first to save money, then transferred. Graduated with $30,000 in debt. My first job was answering phones at a consulting firm. I worked my way up. Analyst, senior analyst. By 28, I was leading projects. I built everything myself. Meanwhile, my younger brother got a car for his graduation. A used sedan, but still. I got a card. It said, "Proud of your independence." I wanted to be angry, but part of me wore it like a badge. See, when you grow up hearing no, you learn to document everything. Every expense, every email, every promise broken. I kept a folder on my desktop, labeled it Family Archive. Bank statements, text threads, receipts going back a decade. I told myself it was just good record keeping, but deep down I knew. One day I might need proof. I thought I'd made peace with all of it. Then she called. The call came on a Tuesday. She was cheerful at first, asked about work, the weather. Then she shifted. So I've been thinking about retirement. I'm ready to step back, enjoy life a little. I said that sounded nice. The thing is, my savings didn't go as far as I'd hoped. I'm going to need some help with monthly expenses. I felt my stomach tighten. What kind of help? Just $3,000 a month. You're doing well. It won't hurt you. $3,000. Every month. $36,000 a year. Mom, that's a lot. I have my own retirement to think about. Her tone changed, got sharper. After everything I did, I fed you, I clothed you, I kept a roof over your head. You owe me. There it was, the word I'd been waiting for. Oh. I took a breath. What about the college fund Grandma left me? You were supposed to manage that. Silence. Then, that was years ago. It's complicated. We're not talking about that right now. She steamrolled forward. I need an answer by the end of the month. Family takes care of family. She hung up before I could respond. I sat there staring at my phone, and for the first time in years, I felt like that 16-year-old kid again. Small, powerless, wrong for even asking. The guilt hit me like a wave. Maybe she was right. Maybe I did owe her. She had fed me. She had kept a roof over my head. What kind of person refuses to help their own mother? 2 days later, my brother called. What's your problem? She's our mother. She needs help and you're being selfish. I tried to explain. The amount, my own future. He cut me off. Stop being so cold. You make good money. Stop acting like you're broke." Then he hung up too. That night, my partner found me at the kitchen table with a retirement calculator open. I ran the numbers. $3,000 a month for the next 20 years. $720,000. My own retirement pushed back by a decade. My partner squeezed my shoulder. "Maybe you could do half, just until she's stable?" I nodded, but I felt sick. I couldn't sleep that night. I kept thinking about that college fund, the way she had dodged the question. At 2 a.m, I got up, opened my laptop, found the folder. The one I'd been keeping for years, just in case. I opened the first file, and everything changed. It was a letter, dated 15 years ago, from my grandmother's estate attorney. The subject line, Distribution of Education Trust. I read it 3 times to make sure I wasn't seeing things. Beneficiary, my name. Purpose, education expenses. Amount, $40,000. Trustee, my mother's name. $40,000 set aside for my college tuition. I never saw a cent. My first year of community college cost $8,000. The trust could have covered 5 years. Instead, I took out loans. I worked 2 jobs. I ate ramen and skipped textbooks to save money. And the whole time, she had $40,000 in an account with my name on it. I scrolled down to the disbursement section. The trust was liquidated in 2008, the year I started school. But the funds weren't sent to me, or to the college. They were transferred to her personal checking account. Memo line, temporary hold for beneficiary expenses. Temporary. 15 years temporary. I sat back. My hands were shaking. I'd asked her about this once, during sophomore year. Grandma had mentioned a fund before she passed. Mom told me there was no money, that Grandma had been confused. I believed her. I didn't push. And now I knew. Where did $40,000 go? That was just the first file. I kept digging. Before I could process what I'd found, my phone lit up. A group text. Mom had added me, my brother, 2 aunts, and 3 cousins. I never thought my own child would turn their back on me in my time of need. I guess I know where I stand now. My stomach dropped. Within minutes, the replies started rolling in. My aunt, "Oh, honey, I'm so sorry you're going through this." Cousin, "That's heartbreaking. My name, seriously?" Another aunt, "After all she did for you?" I stared at the screen. She was rewriting the story in real time. My brother posted on Facebook. Vague, but pointed. Crazy how people forget their roots the second they get a little success. 32 likes in an hour. My partner saw my face and took the phone. "You need to set the record straight." That night, Mom forwarded me an email, her retirement budget, line by line. Rent, utilities, car lease, insurance, and then HOA dues, spa membership, wine club subscription, grocery estimate that included organic and specialty items. Total monthly expenses, $5,500. Her income, Social Security and a small pension, about $3,100 a month. The shortfall, $2,400. She'd rounded up and asked me for $3,000. At the bottom, in bold, "I never asked you for anything before. I'm asking now." I looked at that budget, the spa membership, the wine club, and I realized this wasn't about survival. It was about maintaining a lifestyle on my dime. I had a choice: stay silent and pay, or show them what I found. I went back to the folder, found a subfolder I'd labeled Statements. Years ago in college, Mom added me to her bank account so I could deposit checks for her when she traveled. I'd removed myself after graduation, but I still had the login credentials saved. I know how that sounds, but I never used them, not until that night. I logged in, went to the transfer history, filtered by recipient, and there it was. My brother's name, over and over and over. I exported 10 years of transactions, $85,000. 12,000 for a down payment on his condo, 8,000 to pay off his car loan, 15,000 listed as wedding gift, 4,000 here, 6,000 there, 3,200 for emergency credit card help, 17 separate transfers, average $5,000 each. I cross-checked the dates. Some of them overlapped with times I'd called her for help. Small things, a $700 car repair, an emergency root canal. She'd said no every time. I'm stretched too thin. But she wasn't stretched. She was selective. I sat there staring at the screen. She had money, and she chose who to spend it on. And it was never me. Now I understood. This was never about ability. It was about worth. And in her eyes, I wasn't worth it. I needed to understand why. So I looked back at everything with new eyes. My brother called her twice a week, needed advice, needed money, needed validation. I called her on holidays. He posted photos with her on Facebook. Best mom ever. I didn't. And then I remembered something she used to say. You've always been so capable. You don't need me. I thought it was a compliment. It wasn't. It was a disqualification. My brother's dependence fed something in her, made her feel necessary, important. My independence threatened that. So she withheld. She created distance. She made sure I kept striving for approval I'd never get. And now, facing retirement, she saw an opportunity. I pulled up her budget worksheet again, the one she'd emailed. At the bottom, in the margin, there was a handwritten note that had been scanned in. My name contribution, estim $3,000 per month, confirm by end of month. She'd planned this, the whole conversation, the guilt trip, the group text. It wasn't a request, it was a script, and I was supposed to play my part. Her actual income was $3,100. Her pension and Social Security covered basics. The shortfall was lifestyle, travel, spa days, wine, things she wanted me to fund so she could feel like she'd succeeded, like she'd raised a child who owed her. I wasn't her daughter in that moment. I was a line item in a budget. And I was done. I didn't sleep that night, but by morning I had a plan. I wasn't going to fund her retirement, but I wasn't going to be cruel either. I booked a consultation with an estate attorney. I need to know my options. A trust was mismanaged. Funds meant for me were diverted. The attorney listened, took notes. You have grounds for a claim. Breach of fiduciary duty, but family law is messy. Court is expensive and slow. Have you considered a settlement conversation first? I had. I went home and drafted 2 emails. The first was private, just to her. It laid out what I knew, the trust, the transfers, the budget note, and it made an offer. $10,000, one time, to help her downsize and get stable. No monthly payments, no ongoing support. In exchange, a written acknowledgement that the trust funds were misused and that she had no further financial claim on me. The second email was public, to the whole family group, attached the estate letter, the bank export, the budget worksheet. Subject line, the truth about my college fund and why I'm saying no. I saved both as drafts. Then I picked up the phone. I called her, and I told her I knew. She had one chance to do this quietly. If she refused, I'd send the second email to everyone. My hand was shaking when I hit dial, but my voice was steady. She answered on the second ring. I was wondering when you'd call. Her voice was cold, guarded. I didn't waste time. I found the estate letter. The trust Grandma left me. $40,000. Where is it? Silence. Then, that money was complicated. Your brother was in a tough spot. I had to make a decision. You mean you had to choose, and you didn't choose me? It wasn't like that. I have the bank statements, Mom. $85,000 in transfers to him over 10 years. I have every single one. Her voice got tight.
You went through my account? You made me a signer. I had access, and I used it. She tried to pivot, tried to explain. He needed help. You were always fine on your own. You didn't need me. I did need you. I asked. You said no. I could hear her breathing, fast, angry. What do you want? You want me to apologize? Fine. I'm sorry. Are we done? No. I want you to hear my offer. I laid it out. 10,000 one time. Help her downsize. Written acknowledgement. No further claim. She laughed, sharp and bitter. You're extorting me? I'm setting a boundary. Take the offer or I send everything to the family. The trust letter, the transfers, your budget note with my name in the margin, all of it. You wouldn't. Try me. Long silence. Then her voice turned vicious. If you do this, you'll regret it. They'll never forgive you. You'll be alone. Then they'll know the truth. You have until tomorrow morning. I hung up. My heart was pounding. My hands were shaking. I waited. The next morning, no call, no text. So I opened the second email, and I hit send. 14 recipients. I watched the read receipts tick up, one by one. The group chat went silent. An hour later, my brother's Facebook post disappeared. 2 hours later, my aunt texted me privately. I'm so sorry. I had no idea. I should have asked. By that evening, 3 more apologies. My brother sent a single text. I didn't know about the trust. That was it. No follow-up, just distance. Mom never replied, but the next week I saw her condo listed for sale. The silence was louder than any apology she could have given me. The next few months were quiet. Mom moved to a smaller condo across town, 1 bedroom, cheaper rent. My brother helped her move, posted 1 photo, no caption. I didn't offer to help, and I didn't feel guilty about it. She never apologized, never acknowledged what she'd done, but she also never asked me for money again. A few cousins stopped talking to me, unfriended me on social media. That was fine. I learned who was willing to hear the truth and who just wanted peace at any cost. My brother and I don't talk much now. We're cordial, at best. He sent that 1 text, I didn't know about the trust, and then nothing. I think part of him did know, or suspected, but it was easier not to ask. The family members who mattered reached out, apologized, asked questions. My aunt called me a month later and said, I'm proud of you for standing up for yourself. That took guts. It meant more than she knew. I used that estate attorney consultation for something else. I set up an irrevocable education trust for any future kids I might have. Named an independent trustee, a firm. No family members. Airtight instructions. The money goes to education, period. No one can touch it, no one can redirect it, no temporary holds. I want my kids to know that when someone sets something aside for them, it's actually theirs. 6 months after everything went down, I got a birthday card in the mail. My mother's handwriting on the envelope. No return address. Inside, a generic card. Happy birthday. No note. No signature. I held it for a long time. Part of me wanted to throw it away. Part of me wanted to read into it. In the end, I put it on a shelf. I didn't need her to say sorry. I needed her to stop pretending I owed her. And she did. The boundary held. I'm building the life I want now, the family I choose. People who love me when I succeed and when I struggle, not just when I'm useful. I still have that voicemail saved, the one from the beginning. I don't listen to it, but I keep it. Proof that I was never the villain in this story. Here's what I learned. You can honor your parents without funding their choices. Love doesn't come with a billing statement, and sometimes the most loving thing you can do is say no. So here's my question for you. Have you ever had to set a financial boundary with family? What happened? Drop your story in the comments. I read every single one. And if this resonated with you, hit that subscribe button. I post every week, and your support means everything. One last thing. This story is a fictionalized dramatization based on shared experiences. It is not legal or financial advice. If you're dealing with something similar, talk to a professional who can guide you through your specific situation. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.